Well, hopefully you guys made it back for the last part. I hope this is the last part because this is a pretty long story to get into. Um, Hopefully I've done enough to keep you guys pulled through. Um, so we've pretty much gotten up to the part of the funeral and how that transgressed and how big and huge that thing was, because it was a big funeral. Uh, Never seen a church so small filled with a few hundred people. So mom was definitely famous at that time. So so anyways, make a kind of shorten up the story in some ways. Um, my stepdad at the time had moved out and was decided to go stay with my sister for a while and take some time off. Um, about a month later, my sister has my nephew, my youngest nephew, um, almost 1 month to the day of mom's passing, and I'm stuck in Irving all by myself. I went back to work, and that was probably one of my saving graces that I was actually able to keep my mind busy and so forth like that. Um, I had a good job and had a decent place to live, and everything went well for me. Um, about that, when I get back home by myself, it was depression time. It was suicide time. It was dwell on me and woe is me, and I feel sorry for myself, and everybody should feel sorry for me because my mom was murdered. In the same breath, I try to make it a way of me to become famous as well. I try to make myself famous off of my mother's death. And I know that's not the right thing to do, but at that time I was just like, this is awesome. I'm going to be popular. I'm going to be on the news. Yeah, it didn't work out like that, did it? So, the thoughts of suicide and depression were starting to get really heavy on me. My stepdad, he said he was only going to be gone for maybe like a month, ended up being gone for longer than that. Um, so it availed many opportunities for me to attempt suicide on numerous occasions. Depression, um, drink like a fish. I got into smoking marijuana, but that I don't consider that to be a hardcore drug by any means. And the sex thing. This is the part where a lot of people don't know, and I really don't care. Because if I put this out here, then I hope some people will see that that God can pull you through many a things. Um, I had a lot of friends that I worked with, or I had gotten to know over the years that were homosexuals, and at the time I thought, well, they're cool, they're my people, no big deal. And I eventually got caught up into the lifestyle, and as much as I try to, keep it hidden from people, um, there was only maybe two or three people within my family that I was closest to that knew, but they wouldn't ask me. I only had one person in my family ask me if I was gay, and it was my sister. I remember sitting in the living room, and she asked me, and I said yes. Of course, I would get on the internet and surf it, But at the time, I was just looking to fill a hole. I was not the ladies' man by any means. I was just a lonely guy, and unfortunately, I love gay people. I really do. Um, and they made me feel welcome. They made me feel comfortable, and they made me feel loved at the time. Um, and like I said, for the time, it worked. And so, you know, the whole sex, drugs, and rock and roll um, took on a whole new meaning for me. And so that was just a small part of it. And then I would eventually, lose my job, not because of all of that, just because of how business was running at the time. End up losing my apartment. Um, the economy at the time was not doing great. There was just a lot of things going on, and I would eventually move back in with my sister. And by that time, my stepdad had met somebody else, remarried, and was trying to move on with his life with his new wife. And that's kind of where things went south. Um, Not that I'm saying that I'm totally blaming it on him by any means, but that's where our lives definitely went a different path. And I don't fault him by any means for wanting to, move on with his life or anything like that. Um, Me and my sister at the time, uh, you know, just almost felt like a sense of betrayal. We had been his kids for almost 20 years, outside of the two that he had. But we were the ones that were living with him for 20 of it. So, you know, so that's kind of where life took a toll. And then I moved in with my sister and my brother-in-law and her two kids. And that's where I learned to start dealing with. Uh, that's when I started stealing from my 6, 7-year-old nephew. Lost my job, needed money, didn't really care who or what or anything like that. Um, you name it, I did it. I'd steal money from my sister and brother-in-law and would go to jail on numerous occasions. Um, and it just progressively got worse with time. And it got to the point where I was ruining my relationship with not only her and my nephews and my brother-in-law, but also with my dad. Because when you steal from one, you steal from all. And there was only so much that they could do and only so much they can take. And I think the final straw was is that I actually got arrested on my job at one point in time. And they came and bailed me out of jail. And I forgot what the rest of it was, but I could pretty much tell that they had it. They didn't kick me out. I just grabbed my stuff and I left. Um, and even that didn't work out. Um, Ended up moving into an apartment for almost 2 months, only to get evicted about that time. Got my truck repossessed, um, and was living on the streets pretty much. And we're gonna move on to the next part of my testimony, and like I said, hopefully you guys will come back. So see you around for part 5.